Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. There is a change in the Alexander Isak transfer to Arsenal, and I want to talk about it. The appointment of an ex-sporting director who has worked with him really means a lot, and it changes everything for Isak and the transfer to Arsenal. I mean, there is a reason why we were told that Arsenal are keeping the powder dry. There is a reason as to why we were told that the transfer of Alexander Isak is not impossible. There is a reason as to why we were told that Arsenal are obsessed with Isak and he is their main priority, despite the fact that he's going to be costing 120 million pounds, 150 as quoted. There is a reason why Arsenal still believe, and there's so many people internally that believe that this deal could be done, and all of a sudden Arsenal bringing Roberto Alab, a guy that is actually well aligned with Alexander Isak and his camp. I think this changes everything. There's gonna be a lot of competition in Isak if he dares to move, but I think Arsenal are well equipped and well prepared to go ahead of everyone. Hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get into it. Now, if you have not seen my earlier video, go and watch it. Arsenal have agreed a deal to bring in Roberto Alab from Real Sociedad. Roberto Alab is the sporting director at Real Sociedad. His contract runs down this summer, and he will be joining us and starting work with this transfer window. One thing you have to know about Roberto Alab, like I said in the last video, he has worked with Isak before, and Isak has been at Real Sociedad. There is that connection. There is that sharing of contact between Isak and Alab. He knows the boy, he knows his camp, and they have a relationship. They have a working relationship. So why does this change everything? This changes everything because initially, I think Edu doesn't sign Isak. Not to underestimate Edu, I think Edu is a very good sporting director. Credit to him, he rebuilt Arsenal. But I don't think he signs for us Alexander Isak. He did the Declan Rice deal. It was a little bit chaotic, a little bit messy, but somehow he found a way. But the Alexander Isak deal would have a lot of money and it would take top-notch negotiation. I don't think Edu is that. Secondly, I also think that with the Alexander Isak deal, you might have to cause an internal rebellion with the player. The player needs to be pushing for a move, Arsenal pushing for the move, and then the conditions working themselves out. I don't think this is a deal that's going to occur naturally. I think it's a deal that's going to come out of artificial conditions. And I think Alab can talk to the representatives of the player and say, listen, this is your time to go to a high power team, right? This is your time to go to a UEFA Champions League team, a team with a vision. You're the most talented player in Europe. You're the most talented striker in Europe. You can't stay at Newcastle. Newcastle is not going anywhere. And even if they do, you are not going to win anything with Newcastle right now. Go to a project that needs you right now to win right now, and that could be Arsenal and that could be Liverpool. So I think I won't be surprised if we see Alexander Isak push for a move this summer. I won't be surprised if we see Alexander Isak turn down a new deal from Newcastle, and then, I don't think he will stop training. I don't think he will rebel, like he's got a long-term contract. I think his contract runs down 2027, right? So in the summer of 2025, his contract will be left with 2 years. He either renews or he walks, right? Because if you're Newcastle, you don't want him to go into the last year of his contract. And that's why this is very interesting. It's kind of genius from Arsenal. This is the perfect timing for you to cause havoc at Newcastle between them and their star player. He's got 2 years on his deal. If they keep him for 1 more year and he doesn't sign, they risk him going into the final year of his deal. You don't want that, right? Because if he goes into the final year, then you could lose him on a free. Okay? You don't want that. So you either sell him while he still has 2 years to go, or he renews. And why I think that Arsenal's appointment of this new sporting director will change everything for Isak and the transfer to Arsenal. I think Isak is going to tell Newcastle, listen, I have a project that is being offered to me. It is a good project. And I think I owe you nothing. I've done whatever I've done. We've brought Newcastle back to the standards that it is. Let me go. Let me go to a club that I think fits my ambition. Let me go to a club that I think fits the dreams I have. So I think this deal for the new sporting director is typically meant to impact the Isak transfer. I think this guy, if he eventually gets appointed, I think his number one task is Isak. Because what else is he going to do? Nico Williams, just personal terms, and then trigger the release clause. Zubimendi, Mikel Arteta was key when it comes to that. I think his role is going to be in the Alexander Isak, transfer. Now, of course, if we don't get Isak, it doesn't mean that Roberto Alab has failed as a sporting director as soon as he started. It's a difficult deal. But why I said it changes everything, I think it brings some kind of new energy to the table. There are a couple of voices inside Arsenal that believe and whisper, it's possible. We can get the deal done. It's very, very possible. And the reason that's why people inside Arsenal feel like it's possible, there must be an intrinsic reason. Like you just don't wake up in the morning and say, well, Isak is possible to Arsenal. The reason as to why Arsenal believed Rice was possible is we approached him and his father in January. We approached him in January and he said, listen, I give you my word, in the summer, I'll be an Arsenal player. And Manchester City came in there with a couple of cash, couple of dollars, and he said, no, I gave Arsenal my word. And throughout February, March, April, we were told Arsenal will sign Rice. They are very confident. Arsenal will sign Rice. They're very confident. You don't just become confident overnight, especially over such a deal, unless you're Real Madrid, because Madrid could say, we want Mbappe, and we are confident we're going to get Mbappe, without probable reasoning. You just need to ask them, you ask them, why are you confident? They're like, we are Madrid, come on. I don't think Arsenal are at that level. But I think the Alexander Isak deal, like Ornstein has said, and Fabrizio has said, it's going to drag on. Arsenal brought a special weapon, a special tool to help us with this deal. Will it happen? I'm still very skeptical about it, especially that Arsenal are very, very confident on Šeško. If we took Šeško out of the picture, I think Arsenal would die to sign Isak. But they know at the back of their mind, if Newcastle won't budge, if the player won't help us and push for him off, we'll just go for Isak. After all, the manager wants him too, right? But keep your eyes on this deal. I'm not going to spill the beans. I'm not going to say anything. Just keep your eyes on this deal. It's one that might materialize into the summer and become a hot cake. So Isak to Arsenal with Roberto Alab from Real Sociedad, they work together. I think for me, this changes everything.